Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Blue Zone Lifestyle Podcast, where we're redefining how to live longer, love deeper, and thrive after age 40 and beyond. I'm your host, Dr. Yvonne Beckford, here to guide you through the proven principles of the world's longest living communities, the Blue Zones. Each week, we're going to explore powerful habits for wellness, beauty, purpose, and relationships, all designed to help you age gracefully, live fully, and find joy in every moment. From expert interviews to practical tips, this is your go to space for embracing longevity and living life on your own terms. If you're ready to feel vibrant, purposeful, and unstoppable after 40, you're in the right place. Let's get started. I am honored to have on today's Blue Zones Lifecast podcast. Let's do that again. On today's Blue Zone, that's how you know it's live, lifestyle podcast. We are honored to welcome a visionary change maker whose life's work embodies purpose, justice, and longevity through community. Carroll M. Hunter is a retired Deputy Director of Guidance and Counseling at the New York City Department of Corrections. As a former president of the Gay Officers Action League of New York, GOAL, in New York, he fought tirelessly for the rights of LGBTQ and officers, including the right to march proudly in New York City's Pride Parade in full uniform, backed by the NYPD band. He played a pivotal role in national and international advocacy, including landmark legal action in Puerto Rico and convening the first global conference for LGBTQ and criminal justice professionals, inspiring the formation of legal LEGAL International from Sarasota, Florida to New York City. Mr. Carroll has built bridges and lifted voices, and today we will explore the deeper threads of wellness. Doesn't it sound so suspenseful? And purpose that tie the extraordinary journey to the principles of the Blue Zone living. Thank you so much. I know this man. I know. Thank you for coming. All right. Hey, Mr. Carroll. All right. Well, let's get this conversation going.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay. The Blue Zone thrive on purpose. In Japanese, it's called ikigai. Igigai, ikigai.
Yes.
What has been your guiding mission through your work in corrections, advocacy, and community leadership? Talk to me.
Oh, I would say that the main guidance that I've had in my head is I've always had a powerful thirst for justice. I don't like being an underdog, or the very concept of that irritates me to no end. I've always felt, even as a young man, that you make change when you get up and you create change. I think that my main guidance would be I seek justice. I seek justice in everything I say and in everything I do. My advocacy for all of this has always been in the pursuit of justice.
It's a verb. Talk is talk. Yeah, to talk the talk, but you, my friend, have walked the walk.
I'd
Right?
like to think so.
Yeah, sure,
I
sure,
gotta
sure.
say though, it's been a long walk, and sometimes these feet are tired.
I know that's right. I need new shoes now. Okay. So when facing institutional resistance, okay, how did your sense of purpose sustain you in long legal battles you faced? Because legal is expensive
Yes,
and
yes,
it's long.
yes. It certainly
Mm-hmm.
is. Yeah, I think that I know that it's expensive and I know that it's long, but I also know,
Mm-hmm.
I've always known, that I've had no choice in this issue. I
Right.
just couldn't sit there and not do anything.
Right.
Because you see, in this struggle, there are those of us that do the work, and there are those of us who hide in the shadows like frightened mice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never going to do that.
Right.
I think that, and I'm going to repeat this, I had no choice.
Hmm.
I had to do it. I had to stand up. Because I remember when I was a young man coming up, you know, and if you were gay, they could send you to a mental hospital. They could do
What
all kinds of
year?
terrible things
Let's
to you.
let's give folks a time frame. Like what years? Is this the 60s, the 70s? What are we
Okay, I
talking?
I, I would say it started in the 50s because
Mm.
in 1958 I created the first gay high school student group in the country
See?
into
Mm-hmm.
Clinton High School,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
they threw me
Bronx.
in the Bronx. Well, you know the
Mm-hmm.
Bronx. Listen, we're all
Mm-hmm.
Bronx people.
Child.
The Bronx, yeah. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember they kicked me out for being a bad influence because I was organizing gay people to fight against oppression back in the late 1950s. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where it started. I was
Mm-hmm.
not going to take no for an answer.
Right,
You know,
right.
if I lose this battle, that's fine. I'm gonna go home, lick my wounds, and go on out and fight another one. And I've been
Mm-hmm.
fighting ever since.
So respect and dignity. So we're talking 50s, 60s,
Right on up to today.
1960s. So
Mhm.
let's put a time frame on that. So what was going on in the 60s? That's when King was killed. I believe it was 69.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
there was a big embargo in Cuba. So people get a time frame. When we say 50s, 60s, what's going on in this country at the same time? The 70s, that's when the hippie movement was going on and
True.
free love, but
Mhm.
free love if you look like me, right?
Yeah. True.
Right.
That's the truth. Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
I'm just putting like a time stamp so folks who
Hmm.
are not as cognitive of what was going on in the times, what you were dealing with during the times. So,
Okay.
that
Okay.
was, yeah, Janis Joplin. I'm thinking of music, the Broadway show Hair. I'm
Oh,
thinking of
I
that,
remember all that.
right.
Yes.
So all that free love, that's when let's see, the Jackson 5 started in the 70s, right?
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
So, and the Beatles, they coming in from England. So all of
Yeah.
this is going on in the world and in this country, and this is what's going on in your immediate microcosm of what's going on.
Exactly.
Right. So,
Exactly.
so I
Well, let me
wanted to
see.
put a frame on that. Okay. So that's purpose and mission when we're talking about the blue zone. So let's move on to like movement and balance.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Yes.
Right. How do you or did you maintain emotional,
Uh-huh.
physical wellness during your years of high stress? It had to be in public service roles. Were there rituals or routines that help ground you,
Mhm.
bring you back
Okay.
to center?
Okay. Well, let's see. At the end of the day, at the end of the day of various struggles, what grounded me was to be able to come home at night to somebody that loved me.
Hmm.
What grounded me was making our home into our own little perfect paradise where we could lock the rest of the world out and have
Mm-hmm.
each other's love and have each other's company. We made a home and built a life separate from the struggle at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day.
Right.
I mean, in those days we had the Woodstock House, you know,
Right, right, right.
and it
Woodstock,
was
New York, for people that don't know, and that was the site
okay.
of the Woodstock concert. That's where the famousness came out.
Oh
Because
yes, and
I find out that people are listening to us as far as Sweden and
really,
Brussels. Yeah, so I'm getting cool like that. So
yes, you are.
so
And,
I'm trying giving them a geographic sense of where we are. Okay,
yeah,
so Woodstock, New York.
yeah,
Uh,
and of course later on the apartment in New York City, and
mm-hmm,
then when Stephen and I moved down here to Florida,
mm-hmm,
we maintained the same thing,
right,
despite the hurricanes and all. No matter
mm-hmm,
what happens with my advocacy out in the street, at the end of the day, when I come home, I'm coming home to my own private paradise with the
right.
man I love. So that really keeps me grounded. It
Good.
does. It
Good.
does.
So you
But
kind of have a mental and physical nest to
yes,
kind
and
of for
which is
healing.
exactly what I have.
Right.
Uh,
That's good.
uh, yes. Now, when of course in the morning, especially in recent years,
Mhm.
or when I was living in New York, I would put on my suit of armor and go outside and fight all day. You know,
Mhm.
fight for the rights of gay people, fight against oppression and all
Mhm.
of those kinds of things. I would do that from the time I left the house until I got home at 5 o'clock in the evening. But
Right.
when I walk through the door, I'm not bringing the struggles of the world home with me. I'm not.
Right.
it was like when all my years on Rikers Island, I can't bring inmates in the house, you know.
Please don't.
No, what I did was,
I know.
you know,
But there's
but
a balance. So you're basically emphasizing balance. It can't rain all the
exactly.
time. It can't be sunny all the time. So there has
No,
to be a balance of healing and rejuvenation. That's what I'm
yes.
getting from you.
You're
Right.
absolutely right because I would get my rejuvenation to have the strength to go out the next day.
Right. And that's
No,
an important
definitely.
and that's an important message, no matter what anyone's struggle is, be it physical, be it emotional, be it political, there has to be rest.
Definitely, by
Yeah.
all means.
Right. Nothing grows without a little rest. So,
Oh,
so let's get mystical. I don't know about
yes.
mystical, but
Oh,
let's
I'm
get
ready.
right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Many of the blue zones find joy in natural movement, gardening, walking, daily
Mm,
community tasks. What are some
mm.
ways you find movement and flow in your current lifestyle? So now we end to the year 1990,000.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Right.
Well,
Let's move on.
by all means, there
Yeah.
there are a couple of things that I do
Mhm.
that feed me emotionally.
Mhm.
Uh, we have grounds around the house, so that the house isn't that
Right.
big,
Right.
and Stephen maintains gardens throughout,
Yes,
and I
I've
love
seen
to.
his orchids.
Yes, oh, we have
Mhm.
pictures of the orchids and all kinds of things, and very soon we're going to
Mhm.
be planting some more fruit trees in
Mhm.
this little area here that we have,
Mhm.
and I get a lot of satisfaction from just walking the gardens.
Right.
Like yesterday.
Nature.
Yeah, I guess they.
Mhm.
Oh, I found a tomato, our first tomato from this plant. It was like a holiday for me.
Right.
I can pick things, and we have avocados. We also
Nice.
have an ackee tree.
Ooh, now that's
Yes,
impressive.
we do.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
Good. You
yeah.
know what's so interesting? Sharing a little bit, I call myself gardening. Let me tell you something. I grew the most expensive cucumber you will ever find.
Really?
By the time I paid for soil and
Yes.
fertilizer, and
Oh,
after all of that, got one cucumber. That was like a $50 cucumber.
oh, I know it
So,
was.
so
Oh,
when it's something like that, you eat it very slowly.
but you see, what made it special was you grew it. You didn't go to Kroger's to get it. You went
Well,
out in the back and picked it.
yeah, but I go to Kroger's now. I ain't got time for all that.
Oh, please. Yeah, right.
All that
No,
picking
it's
and pruning, and one. That's all I get. Not
oh, yeah,
really.
yeah. Well, no, you'll have more if you take care of it. That's what I
One.
do.
I
I
get
walk
one little
around.
pickle. Child,
Yeah, oh,
please.
why not?
All right.
But I walk
So
around, and I love to listen to music also.
yes,
I love music, so I'll sit in the
yes,
house and I'll play. And also, Stephen plays the piano.
that's
We have
wonderful.
we have the full size grand in the living room,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes he'll sit down and play. I'll go to the bar and get myself a drink and sit there and listen. So all of that feeds me,
Right, right,
being
right,
on the
right.
grounds and listening to music. Yeah,
That's wonderful, wonderful.
yeah,
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. We're talking blue zone.
yes.
You're definitely not 50 anymore.
I
You
don't
haven't
remember.
quite hit 100, but we're going there. You want to
I hardly
share?
remember being 50.
Yeah. You want to share so people can hate on you?
I'm 83. I was born in
Child.
1971.
Exactly. And you weren't born in a stable. You got this.
Oh yes,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, let me
yeah.
stop.
I
Okay.
was born in Washington
I,
Heights.
I
Yeah.
know that's right. All right. So belonging and connection, okay, in blue zones, they
Yes.
they highlight the power of a tight-knit social circle.
Oh yes.
What role has chosen family and
Mhm.
LGBTQ and community played in your resilience and joy?
Ah, I would say, there was a difference between your birth family and your chosen family.
Right.
They can be two entirely different
Sure.
things.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, my chosen family would have been all the gay friends I had when I was in
Right.
high school,
Mm-hmm.
because they were. Aside from being gay, they were also accomplished. They were also educated. They weren't street people. These
Mm-hmm.
people were going to college. They were going to graduate school. They were
Right.
doing those kinds of things.
Right.
And we were determined to help each other at all costs. If
Right.
one of us had a problem, we all had a problem.
That's a tribe.
Yeah, and these were chosen family,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and
Right.
unfortunately, uh, AIDS claimed most of their lives later on.
This is like the 80s, right? Early
It
80s?
like it was in the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, early 80s, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I lost a lot of my friends then
Right.
like that.
Right.
But in the early days, chosen family fed me and helped me emotionally and intellectually to proceed in a
Mhm.
world that was really kind of hostile to me.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Chosen family did that. Now, as far as natural family was concerned,
Mhm.
I had some support in my natural family. Your mother,
Mhm.
for one.
So let's stick a pin. We're related. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, yeah,
Cause he's not cursing me. He's not going, your mother. Okay,
yeah,
okay, go
yeah.
ahead.
No, my
Okay.
goodness,
Okay, go
yeah,
continue, sir.
because for the people that don't realize this, of course,
Uh-huh.
Dr. Beckford's mother was my sister,
Mhm.
and so Dr. Beckford is my niece,
Isn't that
and
nice?
yeah,
Don't
it
you see
is.
the
It's wonderful.
resemblance? Okay,
Yeah, but
okay.
your
Mhm.
mother had always been an enormous support to me at all
That's
times.
that's good
She
to know.
really, really was.
That's good.
And so was my mother, which is
Mhm.
your grandmother.
Correct.
I can't say the same for all of my brothers and sisters.
They're not chosen, so what are you
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
do? Mhm.
some were very supportive, like
Mhm.
my brother Dennis,
Yes.
you know?
Mhm.
Dennis brought me out to a military base once to do a lecture with the military
Mhm.
people on what it was like to be black and gay.
Mhm.
And Dennis fought with the military, the United
Mhm.
States Air Force. They had never been an out gay person on a military base before.
Right.
Well, Dennis didn't want to hear it. I don't know how
Mhm.
he did it, but he moved all that stuff out of the way, and I went out and did my lecture. So Dennis was very supportive, you know. Uh,
If I can interject,
yeah.
the interesting thing is he was what stereotypically a man's man. He was a tough guy,
Oh,
you know.
he was so butch he made you sick.
Yeah, he was he was a fighter. Okay, okay, continue. I'm
He
sorry.
was,
Hmm.
and I was always effeminate. I couldn't help it. It's
Well,
just the way I
let's
was.
just say you to me, when I saw you, you were always very well dressed. You wore ties, and to me, you were like the Sidney Poitier of the family.
Yeah,
I
I
can I
tried to
tell.
be a gentleman. I really
Oh
did.
yeah, you smooth
I
man,
and I tried to set a good example.
and you definitely
You
did.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, and all of that was important
Mhm.
because not only for me, but when people look at gay people, I don't want them to look at gay people as just people who are hanging out in the bars or
Mhm.
doing all kinds of crazy things. You know, there were gay people that go to college. You know,
Mhm.
went to college. I got myself a master's degree, like you. You
Mhm.
know, I mean,
Right.
and you went beyond and things like that.
Right. Right. Right.
As
Right.
you know,
Right.
yeah. So that's what
Right.
you got to do. You got to work at it.
So, legacy and impact.
Mm.
What does legacy of love and justice look like to you? What kind of world do you hope the next generation of LGBTQ
Hmm.
and officers and youth inherit?
Uh, I think I think the first thing that I would like to see is I want to make sure that the struggle continues.
Mm-hmm.
We have lots of young gay people coming up now that really don't understand what it was like
Mm-hmm.
when they were raiding gay bars and the police were marginalizing and brutalizing
Just
and
because.
whatnot. Yeah, because the early fighters in those days
Mm-hmm.
did the work, and the young people today are standing on our shoulders.
Yep.
But I'm not sure if they realize it. Too many of them don't think about the struggle; they only think about the current aspects of what's going on.
Right.
If they're not careful, if they don't man the battlements, if they don't work constantly to maintain ourselves, we'll wake up one day back in chains.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
In every
And
aspect of injustice, to tell you the truth. But yeah.
exactly what
Mm-hmm.
I mean. Somebody has to keep their eyes on the prize all the time, not just gay people, but black people and all marginalized people across the
Yeah.
board. You can't fall
Complacency is
asleep.
dangerous.
You know,
Complacency, just kind of like, oh, okay, that's what it was, so we good now. Nope.
and we're not, and we're
Mm-mm.
not. This was just like Washington D.C. You don't get me started today.
Okay, so
Okay,
you witnessed change, to say the least, over decades.
yes, I
What
did.
gives you hope about how institutions are evolving or not when it comes to equity and inclusion?
Uh, within the recent weeks, equity and inclusion has been assaulted.
Mm.
It's been attacked violently, and if
Regarding gay or just in general about
across the board,
inequity?
not just gay people,
Okay, that's what I thought.
across
Yeah,
the
that's what I
board,
thought you meant. Yeah.
across the board, uh, uh, things like uh, things like DEI
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. And now, I mean, we have America has a Gestapo now that
Mm-hmm.
is taking people out their houses and putting them on airplanes and all kinds of crazy.
Not to interject, Dora the Explorer ain't even safe, but go ahead.
No, she's not. No, she really
Mm-hmm.
is. She really isn't. And I
Mm-hmm.
used to think because I was born in the United States that I was safe, but that don't mean a goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could be scooped up. It could all be scooped up.
Yeah.
You know, so it is frightening right now,
Mm-hmm.
but we are the people that have to make the change. We are
Mm-hmm.
the people that have to band together and work together to make sure that the terrors that we're experiencing right now are not going to be here permanently.
Yeah.
That we will be able to flush the toilet and clean the bowl and
Mm-hmm.
be able to continue in the future. But
Right.
that will only happen with those of us that fight and never give up the struggle. You must fight, you must fight. That's all I can say for that right now. I'm
Right.
feeling
So
kind of,
do you have any hope that there'll be
oh
things
yes,
can get better or
oh yes, I do have hope that it can get
Mhm.
better because if it doesn't get better, it'll
it'll
only
get
get
worse?
worse. It
Yeah,
will
there's
only
no
yeah,
standing in the middle. You know,
exactly.
any no decision is a decision.
Oh
So you
yes,
yeah, so you built coalitions across departments, cities, and even nations. Because
yes I
I
did.
remember you going to Australia or something
Oh
down under. I
yes.
remember all that. And then what does authentic connection mean to you in context to leadership and advocacy? Since you're,
Okay, yes. Authentic connection is very important because I've noticed that no matter where we live on this planet, all people have certain things in common. Black people and,
exactly.
of course, gay people with LGBT. I remember when it dawned on me that the same struggles that we had socially in New York, they were having in London. For
Mm-hmm.
example, they were raiding the gay bars and the clubs, and you know, and they had laws where they could
Mm-hmm.
put gay people in prison, and all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things were going on all around the planet, not
Mm-hmm.
just in the United States or in New
Right.
York. So
Right.
what we did was we organized gay LGBT organizations all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest LGBT fraternal organization in the world is the Gay Opposites Action League in New York,
Mm-hmm.
the first one. And then we
Mm-hmm.
expanded to various cities around the country. We now have
Mm-hmm.
about 15 around the country. And we
Okay.
also have them in foreign countries as well. We have a gold chapter in Sydney, Australia. We one in
Hmm.
London. We have one in Amsterdam. I was just in Amsterdam a few years ago for their annual conference.
That's
And
nice.
if I remember right, I'm not sure, but I think when they notify us, the next one should be in Paris.
Yeah, I'd go to that just because I'd like to go to the airport. I'd like to smell all the perfumes, but that's
Oh,
a whole
yes,
nother
of course.
story.
But you and the George song, don't get me started.
Oh, child, please. Anyway, okay.
All right, yeah. So we've had
Yeah.
we've had conferences all around the planet, but the first one was in New York while
Mm-hmm.
I was the president to go, and we did that, and then we've expanded. But what I'm trying to point out is we're not alone. No one is
Right.
alone.
Right.
We're people that share the same struggle, no matter what country they live in, and we
Uh-huh.
managed to bring LGBT criminal justice professionals together from all over the world
Uh-huh.
for these conferences. So
Yeah.
I know, and I might also say that there are the civil rights struggle regarding gay people and regarding
Uh-huh.
black people.
Uh-huh.
The struggles are not the same, but there
Exactly.
are there are many similarities, but they're
Uh-huh.
not all the same. I mean,
Right.
for example, in the United States, gay people have never been denied the right to vote,
Uh-huh.
but black people have been. You know,
Oh, good
in the
point.
United States, gay people have never had to live under the auspices of separate but equal, but
Uh-huh.
black people certainly did.
Correct.
So those are some of the things that make it different.
Right. Right.
Thing
Right. Right.
things that make it the same, would be things like, disparities in health services and things like that.
Right. Right. Right.
Well, it's a long litany of lists that I
Right. And then it's kind of like I kind of metaphorically sexism and racism
yes, of course.
is an ism, but the one ism that everyone will face, irregardless of your DNA or your geographic predication, will be ageism.
Oh, most definitely, most
That's the
definitely.
you know,
Well, mhm.
as we ripen,
Yes,
the commonality of ageism, be you gay, be you white, be you black, be you
doesn't matter.
male, be you female, ageism is ageism, and to
It is,
me
and it will
it's
affect, and it affects us
disrespect,
all.
period. You know,
Really does. Yeah,
it's not respect that somebody needs to treat you better, but it's respect that you've been there, done that, and you might listen, because history tends to repeat itself, and
doesn't it though?
you might save somebody a little bit of time if they're willing to listen, but say la vie.
Yes.
Okay, my friend, in Blue Zones, elders, on that note, are
Ah,
revered and remain active in the community life. How are you
yes.
personally redefining what aging and activism looks like?
Okay. Well, first, I think activism can wane somewhat as you get older. I
Mm,
mean, at 83, I don't have the strength
I'm
to march
tired.
to march down Fifth Avenue from Central
Right.
Park to Greenwich Village. You
Yeah,
know,
just show me a
anyway,
restaurant or a little coffee bar. I'll talk to you.
exactly. So,
Mm-hmm.
so physical activism will wane
Mm-hmm.
as your body starts to wane. I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Right.
have, I just can't do it anymore.
And they shouldn't have to.
Didn't have to, but I'll write a check.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, right?
Right, right, right,
You
right,
don't
right.
do this, you can do that.
Right.
So,
Correct.
I would say that, and I would also say that you get to a certain kind of resignation in your life where you know
Mm-hmm.
that you've done the very best you can,
That's all
and
you
you
can
have
do.
to be ready now to hand the torch
Mm-hmm.
to someone coming up behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I look around, I don't see anybody coming up behind me, so I'm
I know
still.
that's right. All I got is a flashlight and the battery's looking dead, messing with you. Euphemistically. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, wow. All right. So if you had one piece of longevity wisdom to pass on, I'm listening, whether it be about living well,
Ah.
aging with purpose,
Mhm.
or sustaining movements, what would it be? I'm listening.
I see. Living well,
Yeah.
aging well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll repeat it. If you had one piece of longevity wisdom to
Hmm.
pass on, whether it's about living well,
Hmm.
aging with purpose,
Hmm.
or sustaining movement, what would it be? So, wisdom,
Uh,
purpose, living well, movement. You don't have to be no Jack LaLanne for
oh no,
those who
no, no. Of
remember.
course
Right,
not. Yeah.
right.
I would have to put living well on the top of the list
Okay,
for
good.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Living well on top of this.
Right.
By that I mean
Mm-hmm.
being in a beautiful environment, having good food,
Right,
having good friends around you
right,
to nurture you. All of that to me means creates living well.
right.
And I'd like to think, and because of my husband uh,
Mm-hmm.
and good friends, that I
Mm-hmm.
do live well. I
Good.
really do.
Good.
Yes, I'm grateful for that. I really am,
Good.
more than anything else.
Good. Well, that's good to hear, and I'm glad that you shared some time with me. Because time, no matter who you are or where you are, that's I'm always saying that's a commodity that you don't know the balance.
Yes,
It's
yes.
the only value that is not replaceable.
Mm.
Folks can make money, they can borrow money, they can steal money, they can
Oh,
give money away. But when someone gives you time, they're giving you something that no one else can give you.
oh, yes, they are.
Right.
And that's something that it's so valuable you can't put a monetary thing
You
on it.
can't put a monetary
You
thing on
can't,
it, and
but it's
that
so
when
important.
people are prone to ageism, it means that you're a survivor, because
Uh,
as people, you got up the mountain, no matter who you
oh,
are or
yes.
whatever circumstances, because the older you get, the more goodbyes you have to make.
Oh, don't you know? Don't
Right,
you know?
unfortunately, but that's the cycle of life. But I appreciate you. You're entitled to your peace
Yeah.
and you're living well. You're one of the few guests that doesn't have anything that they're promoting other
No,
than
I'm not.
wisdom, which
Yeah,
is
other than
wisdom.
wisdom. Yeah.
Right. So if any listeners have any questions, you can direct it to me. Leave the man alone. I can be
Hey,
I can
I'm
be
gonna
reached.
make me a Bloody Mary.
Right. Just leave the man alone. Let him have some peace. You can reach me at
Right.
dryvonnebeckford.com.
You got it.
DrYvonneBeckford.com, where you can we can talk about the Blue Zone. You can post questions that you may have for Mr. Hunter, and I'll be glad to pass it along.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
we may have a part two conversation. Okay,
Yes.
but
Yes.
nothing but love for you, Uncle Carl.
All right. My
and I
pleasure.
and I appreciate you. I love you to pieces.
And I
So
love you.
if I hit the Rainbow Bridge before you, you can look at
Yes.
this tape.
You got it. You got it.
All right. Thank
All
you, my
right.
love. As again, DrYvonneBeckford.com. You can have it has a link that I'd invite people to join our new Facebook group.
Ah,
bluezonelifestyles.com. We have things on that Facebook group, but as I said, my website will be having some Blue Zone inspired trips. We're aiming for Japan in 2026,
wonderful.
and of course some wine tours in the North Georgia mountains. I've got all kinds of surprises
There's
and fun
wineries in
things.
the North Georgia
Oh,
mountains.
child, wineries and
I'm
spas
on
and
my way. All right.
come ain't but a Delta trip away. My
Ah,
love of travel came from this man.
oh,
My
because I've always said,
my appreciation
ah,
for being on the Diamond Club finally
yes, yes,
came
yes,
from this man.
yes.
Can't tell me nothing. I can take 4 bags and a dog.
Yes, that cute little dog of yours. All right, then.
All right, I appreciate everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, I'm signing off. Bye. Okay,
All
bye.
right.